Hello, 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 pretty girl alumni. Welcome to class. Grab a seat, grab some tea, grab some popcorn, grab a notebook because this is the ultimate glove guide. And I'm going to preface by saying this is part one. This is for the beginners who just want to start. You just want to level up. You just want to improve your life just a little bit, even if it's just by 10%, 20%. You're starting out, you've decided, okay, I think I'm ready to go on my glow up and my level up journey. Just to preface some of this advice, you might already be doing it, you might be doing it to some extent. So just take what applies and also just remember to involve nuance into these discussions. So just remember that yes, you might be doing something, but you might be doing it at a low capacity. And in order for you to level up and to get to the next level, you have to take it to the next level. For example, quick example, if you are going to the gym 2 times a week, that's very good. That means that you are on your journey, on your level up journey, you're taking care of yourself, you're moving your body. But if you want to be maybe let's say a baddie, if you want to transform your body, even if you want to transform your life, just in any capacity, it doesn't have to be about receiving physical attributes. It could be about anything, whether it's your mental health, whether it's to start a healthy habit, whether it's to gain some passion, whether it's to get out of a bad mental headspace, whatever it is, we all have reasons for improving ourselves. Self improvement to me is very cathartic. So that is just the beginning of our topic for today. That is the beginning of our class. And this is the video. So, number one, first and foremost, excuse me, is that you have to change your diet. You have to change the foods that you eat. If you are living on a high calorie diet, if you are eating a lot of carbs, a lot of junk food, snacking a lot of processed foods that aren't very nutritious, you are hurting yourself and you are setting yourself back, right? It doesn't matter how hard you exercise, you can never outperform a bad diet. And I truly, truly, truly believe that. For a couple of reasons. Number one, because when you consume food that is basically empty calories or is non-nutritious or does not meet all your caloric requirements, you are setting yourself up for a bad workout, for a bad day, because your gut is linked to your mental health, and they've done this with plenty of experiments. I'll give you one example of an experiment when they studied the fecal matter of rodents, and they found out that when you take a healthy rodent and you make their bacterial dome replicant of the one that is depressed, so that the two subjects have different fecal matter. If you imitate the fecal matter of the sick rodents and you project that onto the healthy rodents, the healthy rodents will actually start feeling depressed just from the gut health. So, gut health is always, always vital. It is always, always important. Take it from me. Listen, everything, I'm just going to preface this by saying everything that I put on this channel is either being proven by common sense, common knowledge. Like you see a lot of the celebrities and the people in high positions, you see their testimonials. They have very logical reasons for why they're in those positions. I try to retain as much of that knowledge as I can, and I also speak from experience. So when I was in high school, I didn't eat the healthiest foods. I would eat chips every day, soda. I would drink a can of Coke every single day. I was an extremely sporty person. I've always wanted to lose weight because I went to a school where being smaller and being athletic was very praised. So me being thicker, I wouldn't say I was fat, but I was thicker. I was in between. I was wearing a size 12 at 15, 16, 17, 18. I didn't start off as a size 12, but that was my average sizing. And it was because of the food I ate, because I was always exercising. I used to run cross country, I used to do netball. I used to do running sports. I used to do everything. Like I was very active. I was walking around. I was very sociable. I just liked to move around. I liked to move my body. I was taking dance classes. I was doing a lot. So the fact that I was eating chips and a Coke every single day, going home, eating pasta, big bowls of like, there's rice, there's, mini meal, anything that has high starch, high carbs, that's what I was consuming. So, number one is change your diet. Eat as many fruits as you can, eat as much fiber as you can, eat low calorie, high volume, low calorie, high nutritious foods. I am telling you that will make the difference. That will make the difference because number one, you're gonna eat less because your calorie intake was going to be less because the food can fill you up for faster and longer. So you don't have to eat as much food to feel satiated. And also, it's got all the nutrients that you need, so you're gonna have enough energy to sustain yourself. But at the same time, you're gonna go on a calorie deficit. If that's your goal is to lose weight, you're gonna go on a calorie deficit. You're gonna start losing lots and lots and lots of weight. And for a lot of people, that literally makes a world of a difference. Like I can't tell you how much my life has changed, my outlook on life, my perspective on life, my ambitions, my perspective of myself, how I see myself. I see myself going out for more opportunities, expecting more for myself, and feeling like I deserve more because I feel good, because I look good. And it's always a chain effect. And understand that there's never going to be one huge solution to your life. There's never going to be one big fix and your life is perfect. It's all these little things that you have to continuously work upon, and it accumulates into a collective satisfaction. I truly believe that. So I changed my diets. What I ate apples. I ate whole wheat bread. I switched out from white bread because I used to eat a lot of white bread. I ate whole wheat bread. I would eat one slice because that bread would fill me up the most. And surprisingly, it had less calories than white bread. And I would eat high protein stuff. I would eat chicken. I wouldn't eat fried chicken. I would eat grilled chicken. I cut out soda. I stopped eating soda. I stopped eating chips. I would eat chocolates only once a week because I was eating chocolate almost every other day. I cut out fatty foods. I started boiling my vegetables or cooking them in the air fryer or cooking them in the oven. And I lost 12 kgs and I have never gone back to eating the way I used to eat in high school. Why? Because my body feels good. My body won't let me. I can taste now when I'm eating something that I'm not supposed to be eating and I can feel it in my body. And I'm not saying that you should eat healthy all the time. Like, yes, everything is fine in moderation. Have a cupcake there, have a slice of cake here, have a bowl of pasta every now and again, have ice cream, have iced coffee, indulge and enjoy life. And your body does not mind that. What your body does not want is a continuous cycle of high sugar, high carb foods that don't have as much nutritious value as your veggies, your fruits, your whole wheat breads, your kimchi's, your chickens, your fibrous foods, your wheat bakes, your fortified cereals, your protein shakes, your energy bars, even snacking. I had to change because I realized that I was a snack girly. I loved my snacks. I could have a meal, a healthy meal now. I could have a healthy meal for lunch and I could have a healthy meal for dinner. But if I snacked unhealthily for the time period in between meals, I would feel it. If I ate a chocolate and a donut every single day, I do feel it. Maybe not as much as if I was having completely bad food all the time, but I do feel it. So also remember that it's also changing your snack habits and your meal habits as well. It's not just the big meals, it's also snacking. Even eating a lot of food, even if it's healthy. For example, nuts. Peanuts have a high caloric count. So if you're going to be eating peanuts, like a huge packet of peanuts every single day, and each pack has like I don't know, 4,000 kilojoules of energy, you're not going to lose weight. You need to look at how your body responds to things and how your body reacts to certain foods. And you have to make a judgment on what you need to cut out, what you can cut out. Because some people, they can't cut out certain things of their lifestyle because they've just become so attached to it. Like, for example, let's say you can't cut out smoking, okay? So what do? We smoke less cigarettes. Okay, we don't smoke in the morning. We only smoke after work. We don't smoke around people. And now we're noticing, oh, I'm smoking less and less. I swap out smoking maybe for vaping, even though that's not the best advice, but it is a step towards the right direction. So that is number one, y'all. That is change your diet because literally what you put in is what you become. What is what you're gonna put out. What you give to your body is what your body is gonna give you back to sustain yourself. Okay. Number two ties into the physical attributes is move your body. But I'll tell you why moving your body is so much more than just exercise so you can look better. So I've already mentioned before that you can't outrun a bad diet. You can't outperform a bad diet. You can't eat a whole slice of pizza, two burgers in one day, then go for even a 10-mile run and think that you're going to work those calories off. You're going to um, outperform what you put into your body, right? So why do I preface move your body? Why do I put it so close to change your diet? Because I believe it goes hand in hand. Number one, when you eat well, you also tend to have more energy. You tend to want to use that energy because it's the right kind of energy. Your body feels right. Your body wants to move, right? So what are you going to do? You're going to move your body. You're going to release good hormones into your brain because that's what also moving your body does. Running, dancing, exercising, cycling, swimming, all of that gives you good hormones. And what do good hormones do? They sustain you. They make you feel like, you know what? I want to try. I want to get out of bed. I want to go for my goals. I want to achieve my goals. And all you need per day is 10-minute movements, right? Whether it's, okay, today I'm going to do a 10-minute dance, high intensity workout. I'm going to do a quick dance in my living room, put it on YouTube. Boom, you got your 10 minutes for the day. Or I'm going to go on a 10-minute run. I'm going to do slow paced. Boom, I did 1 kilometer. That's your 10-minute movement. I also got some steps in. I always try to say set more than one daily movement goal. So don't just do one thing because I find that you tend to get bored. Um, you tend to get fit very quickly as well. I've noticed that the human body tends to get fit very quickly. So sooner than later, 10-minute walks are going to feel like nothing. You're not even going to sweat. Maybe day one you sweated and you felt out of breath. Even on a run, let's say day one you sweated, you felt out of breath. Week and a half later, that 10-minute run is going to feel like nothing. You're going to be like, well, I need to do 30 minutes now. So always try to set at least, I like to do weekly goals. So always try to set at least 2 hours of movement a week. 2 hours of movement that you don't have to do the same thing every single day because I truly believe that in order to be consistent, you have to switch up routine and you have to make things interesting for yourself because I find that monotony is what drives like failure. I personally believe. So that is number two is move your body. I like to run and go to the gym. So I like to lift weights because It also helps with my frustration, with stress. If I've had a very stressful day, it allows me to take my stress out on something because I am a person who is prone to stress, but I feel like the modern world, everyone gets stressed, okay? Everyone gets something that um, upsets them or makes them have a bad day or just has responsibilities. I truly believe that even surviving is stressful enough. You have to work. Majority of your time, you have to think about getting education. If you're younger, you have to think about your future. You have to start planning things that is going to affect you down the line. And yeah, especially if you're in your 20s and 30s, I feel like that is a very stressful time in your life. So I like to weight train and I like to run and I also like to do some yoga, some stretching. I have started doing some calisthenics. I like to go on walks as well. I have an app that makes me track my steps and then I get points for my steps. And then eventually I'll be able to redeem my steps and get like gifts. So little things like that also keep you motivated if you want to get a step tracker, if you want to set goals for yourself, if you want to set rewards for yourself, you can do that as well. So I've given you some examples. I've also spread out some examples throughout the points. So I've said you can go dancing, you can go swimming, cycling. I used to do spin classes and I used to do Pilates classes. I'm taking a break for now because I am starting other hobbies and I want to spend more time on those other hobbies because I'm already doing enough to meet my physical requirements. So I used to do spin classes, which were very fun, very high intensity. Um, I also used to do Pilates classes, reformer Pilates, which are the ones that uses the machines. It was very fun. That also met my social needs. I also did some yoga classes, some sound baths. I've done a lot. I've done some core conditioning classes, some dance classes. So there are a lot of things that you can do. Some boxing classes. I did some boxing classes as well. So there are a lot of things that you can do to kind of meet your physical requirement goals, your move your body goals. And straight into the third point, set goals and be intentional. Now, someone might say, well, obviously, if you're setting goals, your intention is to achieve them. But I'm not saying that you need to be intentional when you set the goal. Obviously, you need to be very thoughtful when you write down your goals. What is realistic? Are you giving yourself enough time? What are some of the limitations, But also be intentional with your days, with your time, with your present. Present moment matters. We always tend to be like, oh, in the future, I'm going to be this, I'm going to do that, what are you doing in your present? Are you using your time intentionally instead of going on your phone and doom scrolling for 18 hours? Are you reading a book? Are you opening your laptop and doing some research? Are you starting to write down a business plan? What are you doing every single day? And I'll tell you what, people think that success is just overnight lucky draw. Some people will sit at their thinking pods for 10 years working on an idea, constantly working on an idea, and it just so happens one day that it blows up and they get money, and then people only see when they've succeeded. They didn't see the 10 years when they were struggling for money, people telling them to quit this thing because it's not working. Them going through mental breakdowns, them wanting to quit but still showing up every single day because they've already invested too much in this project. And then when it blows up, people want to say, oh, well, they just got lucky. No, they just worked every single day. They shut up and worked. And they set goals and they were very intentional with their time. We all have the same amount of time. No one has extra time, no one has extra favor. So everything that someone achieves can be possible for you, all right? Maybe it's not going to take you the same amount of time, maybe it's not going to take the same route, but you can achieve whatever. There's so many testimonials of people who came from nothing, people who were in the most ridiculous circumstances where you just like you're listening to these stories and you're like, how did you make it out of there? Because I surely cannot fathom being in that situation and they make it out and they become successful. Use that as your inspiration and be intentional with your time. Think to yourself, am I doing something that's going to propel me forward, or am I doing something that's going to stagnate me or even take me backwards? If you get 2,000 Rand extra every month to spend, you can either spend it on something that's going to completely waste your time, not even help you, or you can be very intentional with your money and you can save it. And that money can go into investing into yourself, right? Okay. Number four, love and honor thyself. Ooh, honestly, this should be number one, but I don't think any of these have an order. I think you need every single one of these to actually reach a meaningful goal. Like I said, it's multiple attributes being worked on in order to achieve the full satisfaction. So you have to love and honor thyself. And what does this mean? This can take on many, many forms. And I'm just going to give you some examples of my personal forms of self love and self honor. Is that I am my own priority. That means if I am not feeling something, I'm not afraid to say no. If I do not have money, I am not afraid to say I do not have money for that. If I am too good for that, I am not afraid to exit the situation. If I am not feeling comfortable, I am not afraid to express myself. And if I have been wronged, I feel enough vindication to seek justice. So I love and I honor myself. I set my boundaries, I withhold them. Um, is that the right word? I set my boundaries and I enforce them. That would be better. I enforce my boundaries and I cut out bad habits that I feel might be setting me back. I cut out habits and people who I think might not be best for my energy, for my mental health, for my physical health, whatever that may be. So I honor myself. I see myself as something very important because I truly believe that how you treat yourself is how other people are going to treat you. And at the very least, how you treat yourself is going to invite company that wants to treat you the exact same way. Ooh, let me say that again. How you treat yourself is going to invite and keep company that's going to treat you the exact same way because someone who treats you bad is not going to stick around with someone who is going to set boundaries, enforce boundaries, call them out on their behavior, make them accountable, withhold affection, and narcissistic supply. If they do something wrong, bad people don't want to be held accountable. Bad people want someone to step on and to violate and to demean constantly. So if you are someone who is confident, if you are someone who knows their worth, a bad person isn't going to want to stick around and keep testing you because they're going to find out very quickly, oop, no, I can't try this one. They want a doormat, essentially. So don't be a doormat, be a valued possession, okay? Number five is build a routine, not just any routine, but one that you can um, withhold. I keep saying withhold. That is not the right word. Sorry, y'all. One that you can be consistent in and one that is going to get you closer to your dream self. So you can have a routine of anything, essentially. You can have a routine every single day where you're not doing anything. You're literally not doing anything. You can wake up, smoke a joint, sit on your laptop, watch some YouTube, eat some food, play video games, go shower, do skincare, and go to sleep. Now, that's a routine. You're doing it consistently every single day, but what do you achieve? What do you get at the end of 10 years after doing that routine consistently? Maybe diabetes, maybe you gain weight, maybe you get some lung infection because you're smoking weed every single day. So you have to build a routine that is going to propel you forward and sustain your projection essentially. So my routine, what I started doing is I started incorporating little things into my routine. So I started saying, okay, every single day I'm going to do some sort of physical exercise. If I can't do a physical exercise, I'm going to stretch. Like, let's say I did a brutal leg day on a Monday. I did a brutal arm day on a Tuesday, and now I am tapped out. I cannot lift a single weight. So on Wednesday, I'm going to stretch. I'm going to heal my body, and I'm going to allow my body to recover and restore it for the next exercise. So it's constantly building a routine to get you closer to your dream self. Number five is my favorite. It is educate yourself because there is nothing more intimidating than a smart baddie. Intelligence is very intimidating, especially on a beautiful woman. Beautiful, intelligent women who know their worth and who are very confident, you are a lethal combo, right? And add on top of that the talent, whatever talent you have, because I truly believe that everyone has a unique talent, even if it's not a glorified talent. Like, let's say it's not, oh, you're a good musician or you're very good at maths. If it's like a talent that's like, oh, you're very extrovert and you're very fun to be around, that's still a talent and that still can be lucrative. You can take that and be like a social media manager, a social media creator and make money off of that. You can be a PR management, you can be a someone who is very sociable and works in sociable positions. So everyone has their own uniqueness. Educate yourself because when you educate yourself, you become less ignorant, become more open-minded, you meet with more open-minded people, and you learn things that you might not know or you might not have discovered on your own. And that is very vindicating, in my opinion. That is very refreshing. I always love knowing that there's someone smarter than me, there's someone who knows more than me in some field, and that is very beautiful. That is just the essence of human nature, right? So educate yourself. And also, I love it because when I educate myself, I become well versed in my hobbies. I discover something new about my hobbies, and therefore I become better at either my job or my hobbies, right? So either way, it's a win for me. And number seven, this is the final point for this video. And just to remind you, this is the first level. So I know some of y'all are watching this rolling your eyes like, oh, I already know this. Like, this is all over the internet. Don't worry, we will get into more hectic stuff like the last video. And I'm thinking of making this a three-part series. And then the last video, I'm going to give you the most unhinged secrets that I personally am trying to incorporate. But sometimes I incorporate them and I'm like, oh, this is scary. I feel evil. This will be, I think I'm going to name that video Welcome to Your Villain Era, or It's Time for Your Villain Arc. No more nice girl. But yeah, so stay tuned, like and comments, and make sure that you are in for the ride because level two will be even more unsettling than this one is, even more challenging if you like a challenge. And then part three might be the intense one. That's for if you just want to be the ultimate baddie, the it girl, whatever names is associated with the top tier baddie, that is what you want. This is what you need to do, okay? So number seven, this is the last point for the video, is make money and invest in yourself. Invest and save. Invest and save, invest and save. I can't say that enough. And investment isn't just, oh, go put $60,000 into Apple and get dividends. Invest is invest in your hobbies, invest in your body, invest in your health, invest in your relationships, invest in your education, invest in your future, invest in so many things. Invest in your beauty, invest in your dreams and your ambitions, invest in your environment, in your neighborhood, invest in your passions. There are so many things that you can put your money towards, but always remember, for me, I'll always say invest so much money into yourself that you feel like there's nothing more you can do for yourself. You've given yourself every single opportunity, and then you can start branching outwards. You can start investing in other things like charities and donations and all that. So I always say put all your money into yourself until you are financially abundant, and then that's when you can start branching out. So invest in yourself, and always please save. Always save. My goal, I'm not there yet, but my goal is to save for 6 months of sustaining myself, because I know that in 6 months I'll be able to get back up on my feet if anything should happen to me, right? And I'm saying this through experience, because I've had situations where something has happened to me and I've been out of money, and I'm like, damn, if only I had saved for this amount of time, and then 3 months down the line I'll be back on my feet, but it'll be too late because I already had to move out of my apartment or something like that happened. So always save enough money to comfortably sustain yourself. You will never have enough clothes, enough stuff, you'll never have enough things, but one thing you cannot trade in for any materialistic thing is your safety, is your security. So just make sure that you save enough money to sustain yourself for emergency funds, hospital fees, whatever, whatever. Because even if you have medical aid, you can be secure, you can have medical aid, you can have a good job, you can have assets, you can be good credit score, whatever. But some things need cash in the moment. Some medical aids only respond after a few weeks, days, and some things they need money in that moment. So just always remember to save enough to sustain yourself comfortably without you stressing. So that is the video for today, the Ultimate Glow Up Guide Part 1 or Level 1. This is just the starting phase. Like, comment if you relate to any of these points, if you have story about any of these points, have you implemented them? Has any of this changed your life? Can you testify for? What are some other tips and bits and pieces that you can suggest from your side as a level one? Remember, this is level one, so there are some more hectic things that you can do to propel yourself, but this is just the beginning of that. So let me know if you enjoyed this video. This is a longer form content video, so let me know if you enjoyed the 30-minute video or if you prefer a shorter video. Let me know if you enjoy the topic, and I will see you next time.